Hey, on this week's episode of Cooking with Me, Duckie, we are going to show you how to season your brand new Blackstone for the very first time. So stay tuned. All right, Ducklings. So here we are. This is the new Blackstone that I was telling you about, 36-inch with the rear grease trap. It's got all the new soft touch knobs and paper towel holder. It's got the utensil magnet. It's nice. I'm really liking it. So here we are. We're going to season it for the very first time. So we got it together. First thing you're going to want to do is clean off your surface. It's the only time you'll ever use soap and water on this thing. I just get me a bucket of hot water with a little soap in it, dunk my rag, kind of clean it down real good, then come back with a dry rag, bam, good to go. Now, once it's dried, we don't want to turn no heat on. Make sure that there's no little fuzzes or anything like that. It's good to go. So the heat is off. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our oil of choice. I prefer using olive oil. It's just what I've been using. And basically, while it's cold, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna throw down a little bit of olive oil. Now you could use paper towels. You could use the blue paper towels. I prefer using a rag, a good clean rag. And what I do is after I'm done with it, I'll throw it in a hot bucket of water with some soap, let it break down all that oil and clean it real good, and then rinse it all out. Good till the next time. Uh, Rag, you don't get all the lint from the paper towels on it, so that's a plus. So we're gonna throw it all down, and what you're gonna want to do is take your rag while it's still cold, and I want you to cover it with a light thin coat of oil everywhere. Cover the whole surface. Once I like this, get everything. Get the back drop right here. Get the front drop. Get everywhere. You got to put some more oil. Don't be afraid. Put some more oil. We want to catch all the backs, all the sides, the front. We want to cover everything with a thin layer of oil. Okay? Yeah, that's looking good. All right, once we got this first base layer of oil down, like that. This spot right there. Okay, put your rag aside. Go ahead and let's turn it on high. There we go. Let this thing get as hot as it'll get. Okay? Once it starts smoking, let it smoke until you see no more smoke. It'll burn all the oil off. Once it stops smoking, shut it down. Let it cool completely down. Okay? When we start smoking, we're going to get back to you in a second. It's going to take a little bit. All right, ducklings. Y'all can see how it's smoking right here. This is what we want to see completely. You can see the flat top will start to turn a brown color. And we're going to go through a couple of stages of doing this. So just let it smoke until we don't see any more smoke. And we will get back with y'all soon. As y'all see, ducklings, we're getting a really good smoke on right now. This is what you want to see. This is what you want to see. All right, ducklings. So as y'all can see, it finally stopped smoking. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn this off. And we're going to let this cool down. Now, once it gets cool enough for you to touch it, what are we going to do? We are going to go ahead and we're going to re-season it again. We're going to put some more oil on it. And we're going to crank it back up and let it burn off again. Now, we want to do this. I like to do this at least 4 times. Sometimes I do it 5. It should take you almost a whole bottle of propane, a whole, what it is, a 20 pound, 5 pound, yeah, 5 pound bottle of propane. Should take you about a whole 5-pound bottle of propane to do it right. Uh, Sometimes it depends. Half a bottle, it just it's all about the steel, how hot the steel wants to get, how fast it wants to get, and how fast it wants to cool down, and uh, how much it'll take the oil. So as you can see, we're starting to get a nice, pretty black, starting to get that tint. Now, once you keep adding layers and layers to it, it'll finally get to that spot where it looks like this, that real slick black. And then with proper maintenance and cleaning after you cook, um, reseasoning as you go along. So after you cook, generally what I do once I clean everything off and I let it get back down to cool to touch, I reapply oil, another layer of oil, and then I set my top back on it and I cover it up. So next time when I go to cook, heat it up, heats the oil back up. It's almost like going through the seasoning process again. It's building another layer of seasoning. And when you do that, it keeps adding to the layers, adding to the layers. And then eventually it'll get to that, depending on how often you cook on it, it'll get to that point to where it becomes really super non-slick, non-stick, real slick, and we get all that goodness. So we're gonna get back to y'all as soon as we get this completed down, and I'll show you what the finish, what it really should look like, how I like it to look like. So we'll see y'all in a bit. All right, Duckling. So here it is. This is how I like for it to get the look. Now you see, we got some areas right around the corner here and right here that didn't season, but it will season after cooking on it for a while. I did 4 rounds and I got it nice and beautiful like I like it. Now it's going to continue to get darker and darker and darker as we go along. But right now, what I like to do generally, once I get my 4 seasons on, I like to go ahead and cook some bacon. So this is what I'm going ahead and do. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to cook a little bit of bacon. We're gonna cook a pound of bacon. It ain't gotta be the best bacon in the world. I find that the cheaper bacon works just as good for a first time cook on your new Blackstone or a first reseasoning. Um, Now I did have to reseason a Blackstone once before when I had my other 36 inch. We wasn't using it as much, and it was just stored up in the shed. And I ended up having to sand it down and reseason it, and it came out actually better than the first time I seasoned it. So that being said, and since then I've given it away to a family member that wanted one, and they didn't know if they were gonna like it, and they didn't want to pull the trigger. So I said, you know what? Look, I'm not using this one. Go ahead, check it out. You know, we were planning on getting the new rear grease trap anyway, so that's what we did. So now with this bacon, it's gonna stick right at first. That's okay because once it cooks down and we get all that bacon grease on there, that bacon grease is going to help build to our seasoning process. That's why I typically like cooking bacon first thing. So we're going to cook some bacon, and I'm going to get back to you in a little bit. So y'all just hang out a second. All right, ducklings. So we got all that bacon cooked up. We got some grease on here. Like I said, we'll just put that bacon grease. Man, I'm telling you, I don't know what it is about bacon grease, but man, it sure does help with the non-stick problem, keeping it slick and nice and every stuff. So what I'm going to do with this bacon, well, I'm not just going to cook it to throw away. I turned it down to low, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make me a bacon cheese sandwich. Because I'm a little hungry. I didn't get to eat lunch today. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do, Ducklings. We're going to make us a bacon grilled cheese sandwich. And you know, you got to have Dukes on any kind of sandwich. Because Dukes is just smooth and creamy, and it's where it's at. Dukes is Duckie approved every time, all the time. So, that being said, y'all give Dukes a try, man. I think y'all really going to like it. I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to lie to you. First time I had some friends of mine had Dukes, and I was a big Hellman's guy, all right? Like, I would mess with Blue Plate every now and then, but it was like, it's got to be Hellman's. And they brought over this Dukes, and like, oh, you got to try this and you try that. And I'm the type of person, I really, 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 really don't like trying new stuff. And when I do try new stuff, it's like an act of Congress to get it done. But 9 out of 10 times when I just break down and say, all right, I'll try it, it's like, man, what have I been missing? That was the case with Dukes. And then from there, I'm like, Hellman's who? No. Dukes. It's all about the Dukes. All right. Get our buns nice and toasted here. Side like that. We're going to let that inside toast up a little bit. We're going to grab us some bacon here. Let's give this bacon a try, Ducklings. It looks like it's pretty good bacon, though. Can't go wrong with bacon. Even cheap bacon is good bacon. I like it. Tell you what, I'm really enjoying this magnetic tool holder. I like it, Ducklings. I like it. Let's get our cheese ready. Let's go ahead and we'll give that a flip. But cheese. Bacon. And if I had some fresh tomatoes, that would work excellent also. Let's throw our cheese on top of there like that. Let's put us a little bit of Dukes. Let's fold that over like that. Let that do its thing. We can go ahead and turn that last burner off. Just let that cheese get to its meltiness. You know, I have my dome. Let's use that bad boy. Let's turn everything off, Ducklings. Side like that. Let's go ahead. Cut into this dude. Let's get this one. There we go. Bacon, mayo, Dukes, cheese, buttered bun. It's going to be a tasty little sandwich. Y'all had the first bite? Okay. Here we go. Ooh, and it's hot. Man, you can't beat a bacon grilled cheese sandwich. Just can't. So hey, ducklings, I hope this was informative to y'all. For everyone that's been asking how I do it, this is how I do it. Simple. Just take your time with it. I love y'all. God bless y'all. I go to church on Sunday. Let my God tell them Duckie sent you. And hey, guys, we're gonna see you next video.